Aloha, hey, it's Julie Ziemelis and
Lance Owens.
And we're here today with your October real estate update and using September numbers. What we are waiting for right now is for me to tell you about how I'm selling my books. So one of our people in the group, Beth, said that one of the ways she was able to make her dream of home ownership in Hawaii happen is by reading my books. And so I wanted to give kind of a shout out to her. Thank you. And also, if you're looking for more information about moving here, I wrote a book, How to Move to Kona. And I also have another book called The Insider's Guide to Buying Real Estate on the Big Island of Hawaii. And both of those copies are free as digital downloads when you join the 365 Ohana. If you go to move to Hawaii365.com or drop me a line and I can hook you up. And also we start our wonderful monthly stats experience with one of our drink sponsors, Ola. And Eric Ziemelis is behind the camera. Give us a little arm here. Okay. Dink.
All right.
So we are going to start.
You know that should have been handled first, right?
Yeah, see?
So.
Well, you know, no drinking until the promo's done. There we go. Okay, so we are going to listen to Lance bring you some amazing numbers and statistics, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the market, and we are encouraging you to ask questions, and we will answer them. And for the people on YouTube, we will be looking at different comments that you might have and get back to you. And then for the people over on the live, we'll answer immediately. And if you on YouTube want to be part of the people who answer live, join our group at Move to Hawaii 365.com. Okay.
So, should I tell you a funny story about a condo that we put in escrow this month? While we wait, where a couple more people come in. And I don't know if I mentioned this right when I came back from my trip to the mainland last month, because we did our report right after that. But I had another realtor chase me down while we were at dinner in Chicago and say, "Hey, I heard you got this condo coming up on the market, and we're not allowed to talk about them before they come up." And I said, "Well, it could be true or not true. I don't know." And he says, "Well, you got an offer coming for it." And I hadn't even gotten a listing agreement yet. So he sent me the offer, and I called my client and went over it with him. It was a trusted client. It's probably the fourth property I've helped them buy. And he's not an investor. They've just been moving around and doing things. So it's kind of funny. I said, "Hey, look, we got an offer. Somebody heard that it was coming on the market. We got this offer." I said, "Do you want to go straight to the MLS? Let's see what we could get into a bidding war. We could have things happen." And he goes, "You know what? If they'll give me such and such X and X dollar, and I can just walk away from here, and I don't have to clean it. I don't have to touch up the paint. I don't have to deal with nothing. Zero. As is, where is, what is." He goes, "We'll do that number." So he's sure. He goes, "Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to go on the market. I don't want to play that. I don't want to do that. I just want it gone, sold," because I had sold them a piece of land. They just moved into their house that they just built on the piece of land.
Oh, okay.
That I sold them. So they were moving into a brand new, beautiful home up on the hill. And so anyways, the offer did come over, and I had to send it in DocuSign, or actually zip forms is what we use. Send it with the listing agreement first. So it went in procession. The listing agreement was signed, and then the offer was signed, and then so.
Wow, and this is all while you were away.
I know it was when I got back.
Oh, okay,
when
we
I
got
got
back. Okay.
He got it.
That's nice. So, that's nice. Yeah.
That's
but you guys can see what can happen, why there might be 0 days on the market for some of these properties, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wish I'd go backwards for days on the market.
Yeah, I know. And it's and the market is still obviously cooking. So
yeah, and I don't know if I will just bounce off that real quick to the home. I had another client that was renting a home, and he had an agent call him and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, the home you're renting, we're gonna list it for sale, and we're gonna put it on the market. I need to set up showing instructions with you." So he calls me up, and that was the day I landed and got back home, and he calls me up at 6 in the morning, and I'm like, "Dude, I've been sleeping 4 hours. Give me a break. Call me to get up." A few hours later, he's like, "Are you up, princess?" And I'm like, "Not yet." And so anyways, I called him, and he's like, "Yeah, they're going to start showing my place. They're going to list it. I don't want to deal with this." He said, "Write it up. Let's just buy it." So we wrote it up and came to a meeting of the minds, and we're in escrow set to close in a week, I think.
Wow.
So got two that,
boom.
Yeah, that are kind of funny like that. So that's cool.
Yeah. It helps know people.
Yeah. So All right, we're gonna.
So Sally
Oh.
says aloha.
Hey, Sally, congratulations on her new home. I know she is so tickled, and it was so good to be able to work with Sally on this end, and then have her work with one of Julie's agents in Waikoloa. So it's really good if something's not
Different
working.
Sally.
Oh, different Sally.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm still talking about the other Sally then.
Okay.
Congratulations, Sally.
Okay, yeah.
We got a new Sally. Hopefully,
new
we're
Sally.
telling the story about you.
Yeah, I saw
Too.
that was Sally Paris.
Yeah, Sally Paris.
Which Sally is on right now?
It's Ellenberg.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
But yes, that was an excellent experience too, because
Yeah.
one of our wonderful buyers said, "I'm looking in this area," and then when she changed areas, Lance knows that he wasn't the expert over in Waikoloa Village, so he said, "Let's just pass it to somebody who knows what they're doing," and then they were able to get her into a home within a week or two after that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's days
good.
where that's we all work as a group and a team, so it all works out. So.
And I still feel like I'm an expert in the area, but I think the problem is we had 14 escrows going.
Yeah,
and
getting up to a 40-minute drive.
And doing that round trip. So I've sold a lot out there, and I feel I know it well. But I wanted to take care of the client. We wanted to take care of the client, make sure it's
and that the market was cooking so fast that you had to get there.
Yeah, you had to get there immediately.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to do that, so we made it work.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's how good teamwork is.
Yep.
So very cool.
Who else do we have? Okay,
All right.
let's do it.
All right, let's jump into the numbers. So we're going to look again, for those of you new, we've got 9 different districts. We would be here all night talking about 9 different districts. We're going to talk about West Hawaii, which is actually called North Kona, and it's the most southern part of the United States, so figure that one out.
Well, that would be Ka'u, wouldn't it?
The island, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, the island, yeah, okay.
Our island's the southernmost part of the United States. We're in North Kona, but it's called West Hawaii. So I always, people get confused.
Looking at the
with
numbers,
that.
yeah.
So if you're looking at the numbers when we post them, it'll be North Kona. And looking at residential homes, residential homes dropped 13% in the number of homes sold. We're going to jump into that inventory problem. That's not a problem with buyers.
Right.
So they are selling quickly. Last year at this time was 53 homes. And remember, last year things started taking off in August. And so it really started cooking August, September, October. So September was a good solid month. It's a good month to compare it to. So minus 13% there, 46 versus 53. Jumped down to condominiums. Again, it jumped down. Last year was 43 condominiums sold. This year there was 37 condominiums sold.
Well, that's a drop from last month. Big
Yeah.
time. Last month it was like 50 something, right?
Yeah, but do you remember last month when we talked about it, how many condos were active? There was 23 condos active.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, now that shows you if you can't buy any, then there's nothing on the inventory list.
there's nothing you can do. So they've skyrocketed. So,
Yeah.
so again, once again, it's not a lack of buyers; it's a lack of inventory. So, if we were to look at homes 2 years ago, before all this, on a normal month, we'd be looking at 160 to 180 homes would be available on the market for you to look at, and condos would be roughly 150. And again, I just did my check this month. Right now, today, for fee simple homes, there is only fee simple condos. There's only 19 to show you.
Wow.
That's it. So if I add in leasehold, there's 32, I think.
Wow,
So,
wow,
but it's still
Not a lot to
there's
look
not
at.
19 condos.
And I bet a lot of those are for over 450,000.
Yes.
Because we have some people trying to look in the under 400 range, and they are.
So
Going
I got no
nowhere.
minimum bedroom, baths, or anything on there. So I'm just going to pull.
Just
up
so you
the
guys know,
number.
a little real time,
Real time
MLS
right
check.
now.
Yeah.
As we're speaking, there is a 1-bath studio starts at $288. There is a 1-1 for $320, another 1-1 for $322, a 1-1 for $399, a 2-2 for $410. That's at Kona Plaza. Then you got a Leilani at $449. That's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's where I just listed that one at $460. So
Is that the one that went really quickly?
gone before I listed
yeah,
it.
460,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Wow. And just so you guys know, that when Lance is talking about these, every time we do this, he always uses a Leilani. as kind of like a bellwether for like what's going on. He was talking about condos, and they're going for $269 not that long ago.
Yeah, we were looking. The staple was kind of 3 to 3 1/4, but sometimes you jump down into the high twos.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, for like
And there was
2.2.
usually 10, 12 for available in there for sale.
And now there's like one
active. That's it.
Wow.
So, and then the next one, we're to 1 at 519, and it just keeps going up. Let's just hit the high point. High point, $7 million
For a condo?
for a condo.
Where the hell's that?
Estates Villas at Hawaii. So
What
that's
the-
out there. Hawaii Resort.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's one of those.
Whoa.
There's a Holly Alani for 6.9 million, and another Holly Alani at 5.95 million. So we got them as high as we got 3 of them over 5 million, and we got 3 of them under 500.
If you're in that price range, let us
So-
know. He'll sell you a condo.
What is that? That's a 5-bedroom. Well, the 6.9 million. That's a
Okay.
big condo at least.
Yeah, great. With no land.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump into the median sales price, you guys, real quick. So the median sales price, month to month. A year ago, the median sale price was $795 for a home. It was $887 last month, which dropped down from the 900s. Again, it's what's selling, and it's a lack of inventory is a problem. So year to date, the median price is $925 right now for a home. So condos, month over month for the year, $390 last year. It jumped up that high, and it was $440 this year.
Wow. And that's an increase of almost 13%.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. And year to date, median price on the condos $409, where a year ago it was $362.
Yeah, 12%, right? Yeah, that's about
46%.
That's 12%.
Oh, 12. Yep.
Yeah,
46%.
46%.
46,000.
That's following basically national trend lines too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
So there you go. And in terms of again, I was kind of asked you. Sometimes people look at Waikoloa Village, and that's in the South Kahala department. What's the condos looking like in South Kahala now?
South Kohala condominiums, 33 sold this month and 18 sold last year. And median price was, condo South Kahala was $805 it shows this year. Year to date it shows $755, and that is it's a lot of the resort area, remember?
Yeah. So those prices
They don't
sometimes
break
go
it
to $1 million.
separately.
Yeah.
Sorry. They
Yeah.
don't break that down
But
separately.
about 2 or 3 months ago, at least it was starting to drag a little bit. Now
Yeah.
it's just as cooking as much as everybody else, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of cooking going on in the housing
A lot of
market.
you know what? I mean, let's just jump real quick and just see how many are available in 3-6 condos. So we just talked like there's 19 here, right? Mm-hmm. And
So
let's-
3-6 is Waikoloa Village. No.
It includes the resort area too.
Oh, okay.
So if we look at 3-6, there's 32 condos available. And that's going to include the resort, the beach resort, and the village area. So
Which is pretty low too, right?
it's a low too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. But that's double the Kona.
Yeah,
numbers,
it is.
so-
Okay, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then homes, let's just, while we're peeking at how many homes are available in Waikoloa area, we got a total of only 26 homes available. out
In the
there.
entire area.
In the entire area, resort and up the hill.
Wow.
And we might as well take a peek to see what the
Kinda
lowest
homes are-
price, the price range on it. It's just got to do the quick search, you guys, while we're doing that. While it is doing that, it doesn't look like it. I don't see my poi pounder going, so.
No. There
Okay.
we go.
So a lot of people want to know condos. Of the condos sold last month, what would we say, 37 sold? 20 of them sold in under 10 days. Mm-hmm. Of the 37, 21 of them were cash. And contingent right now, there's 62 with 19 available. 62 are in
Let's go
escrow
right now. Wow.
Yep.
That was boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Wow.
Homes, we had the 48 or 46. It's a discrepancy in the same system between the numbers. So my report says 46, but when I pull the actual ones that sold, I come up with 48. So we're looking at 31 of those sold in under 10 days. 18 of them were cash. So again, we're about a third of them closing cash.
Yeah, but that means 2/3 closing mortgages.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
that's what I mean. So that's
yeah,
good.
some people are getting their deals done even if they say I'm not coming in with cash. That's good.
I hear a lot of people that are afraid, I don't have cash, I'm getting beat out because I don't have cash as cash buyers. Well, here's the numbers. I mean, I'm able to pull it and look at it physically, and the real numbers are, again, only 18 of them sold cash.
There you go.
4 of them closed with VA loans.
Oh,
We hear
really?
that VA loans don't get, nobody looks at VA loans and stuff. Just talking to another realtor today, and she said that the actual seller found out that the buyer was a VA buyer and actually gave him a little bit of reduction in price.
Nice.
So
Nice.
did the VA loan, did a reduction in price. So VA loans are getting bought. Financing is obviously getting done.
Yeah.
So all those are good signs.
I heard that. Tell me if you want to rethink about this. That the people who were cash buyers, a lot of that cash has already gone into the market now. And so maybe with all the cash buyers are already kind of like gone in, that maybe there's going to be some openings for people who are not competing with cash buyers because a lot of the cash is already in the market. What do you think?
Well, we've been running about a third consistently here of closing
really?
cash deals.
Like forever?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but for the last year,
Okay.
it's been about a third, I think,
Okay.
consistent. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I don't think there's going to be a 20% down experience, though, right? Is
No,
there
they
20?
are.
Yeah, 20?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
there you
yep,
guys
they
go.
are.
There's some
They're still-
hope in the market.
Your big thing that you got to watch out for is your appraisal gap, because appraisals are finally starting to catch up.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of my appraisals coming in. I'm not as freaked out as I was because we're skyrocketing so fast at the beginning of the year that we wouldn't accept an offer without an appraisal waiver. And an appraisal waiver, if you don't know what that is, it basically means that you're saying when you write the contract, look, I know it's probably not going to appraise at the price that I'm buying it at, and I will overcome that difference of a certain amount. So I always encourage people to have an amount there of what they're willing to do.
Right.
So whether it's 25, whether it's 50, whether it's 100, we've written offers this last year for $100,000 over with $100,000 waiver and not gotten accepted.
Oh.
So,
Wow.
so it's interesting, but we've gotten them at $10,000 over and $20,000 over, the list price. So you just don't know. You just got to keep trying. You just got to keep going at it. It's hard on all of us. It's hard. We got a lot of new realtors in our office that are struggling. They think that they might not know how to write an offer, or they might not know what's going on. So they're reaching out to us, and it's just like, even with all the experience, you still, you got a better chance of getting your offer accepted because they've got a relationship with the other side.
Yes.
Like running you down in Chicago at dinner.
Yeah.
And saying, hey,
Yeah.
but it does help to have a relationship. So, but it's hard on everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I see a lot of people, buyer's agents going with actually buyer's agent agreement, which is always a good thing to get, but it's because a lot of people will have that first agent go out and do 4, 5, 6 offers for them, and then think it's the agent's fault that they're not getting it, and then go pick another agent and just be lucky and get that next offer.
Wow.
So it's kind of hard. So a lot of people are doing that, and it's a good thing. So as long as
Yeah.
you know your agent's good and
Yeah.
you feel comfortable.
And for you over here, my people, we've got good people here. For you over there in YouTube land, I've got good people.
YouTube.
Yeah,
and
use us.
Facebook. Yeah.
And the people in Facebook land will tell you through all their little testimonials that our people are the ones that know people in town. They know how to get deals done. They know how to negotiate. They know how to go after a good, like when Eric had to put an offer forth, and Eric asked Lance, and Lance is like this on, like, this is what you asked, this is the reason why, I'm on it, da, da, da. And so having, some background in multiple offers is so important right now in this market.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So,
And jump back to that relationship. Like when he's writing something, I'll jump in and say, "Who is it?" If you want me to call him and see what it.
yeah,
see
it
if
is
I
a
can
people
help.
business here in Hawaii. It is. It is. And then, and I don't know if you guys know this, but because I didn't when I was on the other side, is listing agents, if they know the agent that's coming in with the buyer and they like them. I've learned now too. Transactions are long and they're hard sometimes. And working with someone that you know and like and trust as the other agent sometimes will help a deal faster when the other agent might be thinking, this guy's new, or this guy doesn't, I don't know this guy. And so sometimes they can actually just say, you know what, we know this deal is going to close because I trust that agent.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I do. I talk to my clients. We present every offer and lay it in front of them and say, here's offer A, B, C. A might be more money. Never heard of this agent. I looked at their history. You can look on and see how many they've sold and what they've done. They don't have any transactions here. And they're using a mainland lender. So yes, it's more. It's up to you. This person over here, B, I've done 8 deals with that person in the last 2 years, and their lender's a local lender that understands the complex and knows what's going on. And I know that they know how to handle things when problems come up. So that's a big thing. So it'll makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But it's always up to the seller.
And
And
your best thing is just to give them all the presentation, give them the whole thing, and then let them choose.
Sometimes it's 10 offers laying there going down and saying, here's what we're looking at. And here's why this is better, this better, this better, this better. But when it comes within $5 or $10 grand of a $800,000 property, you may want to just counter back the one that is good to equal the one that nobody knows and nobody knows the lender type of thing, and say, look, if you're willing to go to this price, we already have a relationship with you that you know how to do a deal, and that's the benefit of going with you. And
Hopefully.
So
And again, because sometimes I don't know how this works either. So they won't counter back every offer, but sometimes they'll counter back 1 or 2. So sometimes it's not just, okay, you put your best and highest, and then that's the answer, and that's it, 1. Sometimes they will say, okay, can you do something better just to help the deal? Yeah.
We encourage everybody to do your best and final in this market right now. Present your best and final offer, and that's it. And then they'll look at them, and that doesn't mean they have to take what's on the table. That seller can say, I trust this, what you're saying here, but I'm not willing to lose 10 grand over it. Call up that agent and see if they'll go up 10 grand more.
There we go. Okay. So that's just how this game's played, you guys. If you guys want to play in the
You see those $1 million
game.
listings, right, where they're doing things over the phone and stuff, and sometimes there's a lot of unethical things that go on in that phone call and that show. I can't believe that
They let that go on there.
Yeah. But that's Hollywood. But there's very ethical, with what they're doing, and it's like, okay, this. We've got 5 best and finals. You need to up yours. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, and also I've learned that concept of the escalation clause. So if you have 2 escalation clauses in one transaction, and they both are saying, it's me, it's me, it's me, how does that work?
Escalation clauses, in my opinion, is the worst position to put yourself in. I've never, ever, in 18 years, never presented a buyer or seller with an escalation clause. It's bad. NAR says not to do them. I know there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of people feel that they got it because of that. You take a seller that has never dealt with an escalation clause, doesn't know how to deal with it and what to do, and you've got that. Sometimes you get 3 or 4 of them that have escalation clauses. Right. Where do you go? What do you do? In my opinion, of when we've had them come in, we've had those exact same people that have told me, Lance, that house is worth $1 million. That's all. We've given you your best and final offer, but you know what? We'll give you an escalation clause of $5 grand over anybody else's next hire. So I got one at 110 or $1,010,000. So they'll go up to $1,020,000. That person has consistently, when it comes to the inspection period and things like that, tried to get back that extra money that they've done. Okay. And so I discourage my sellers, share that knowledge with them, why that's a terrible idea. Share with them that actually National Association of Realtors has come out and said that anybody that sits down at a poker game in Vegas and lays all their cards face up and starts playing, that's what you're doing. You put all your cards face up on the table. Okay. So you'll never see me
do that.
Escalation clause.
Interesting.
That's my. No, obviously there's a lot of people that disagree with me. If there was a perfect way, we'd all do it. So
that's true. So it's like paying an extra like $10 in the envelope and say, "Here, take this to get my offer done." But it's interesting because as a consumer, I don't think that a lot of the consumers understand how all this is played. There's a lot of there's so much going on in the nuances and the negotiations and everything else that I just want to bring it up. And now that Eric's selling real estate full time, I get a chance to kind of see the back end. I'm like, oh, how do people compete when that kind of stuff is going on? So anyway, okay. Yeah. Anything else?
It's hard.
Do we have any questions, Pops?
We got a couple things. First of all, Brad, all
hey, aloha, Brad.
Brad says, "Are you pointing at me?" You guys are pointing back there.
What's
And
I
then-
waving my finger? I hate when people wave their fingers at
And
me.
then,
That's
and then
all.
Sally says, "This is the Sally who got married on Kokio Beach in August."
Oh, okay, okay.
So there you go. Those are the 2 comments so far.
There we go. Okay, okay. So it's a quiet day, but we love the fact you guys are showing up here and looking at us. The real estate market in general. You think going into the fall? What are you thinking?
Interesting. I accidentally found out this week when I was doing some searches for clients that 2 significantly high-priced properties. I was looking at the history of them. Had been sold in the last year. These people had moved here and they're moved out. So we've talked about this in the past. I said 2 things are going to change our prices: the volcano and the inventory. So Pele spoke up, and she's got the volcano going again. We're all familiar with that.
Yeah.
And actually, with this little bit that's going, it's not hurting anything at all. A lot of people.
It's hurting the air quality.
Your air quality, when your view, but it's not hurting the market.
yeah.
The market. So it's,
Well, but the volcano's only been going on for 9 days.
well, in 2018, 9 days we had 50 cancellations.
Really?
Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah? Wow.
I mean, it was crazy. So.
Okay.
And typically, like I said, we haven't had any now. And it's they're raising prices on vacation rentals, and you'll probably see rental cars probably a little bit increase. I know people have been asking about rental cars.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm asked about
rental
that.
cars have come back to reasonable pricing. Now that the volcano's going back off, be careful if somebody says they got great price 2 or 3 weeks ago, because when the volcano goes off, everybody flies in. And wants to go see it. So
Right. In
we
fact,
get
I
very,
talked to
very
somebody
busy.
today who said 3,000 people flew in. They said that right before the volcano went off, that we're having that slide in tourism right now because
Right,
the governor
right.
asked people not to come.
Right.
And then, like, within 4 or 5 days after the volcano started going off, like, boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, we had 3,000 people
Yeah.
show up in a week, and then they're all going over to volcano.
I saw all these. I had friends from Oahu and stuff. Didn't even stop by to wave hi.
They're all over there.
Boom! They jumped on a plane, drove out to volcano, spent
Yeah.
the night out that way.
You know what? That is such good news for the
Yeah.
people out there.
Yeah.
Just because they just keep getting beaten. Between the economy and the closures
Governor.
and the governor and the COVID and
The governor.
Yeah.
The governor.
And it looks like they're not. It looks like it just has nothing to do with this. It looks like they're going to pass the budget federally. Because when they don't pass the budget federally, then we lose our park.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be okay, and they're going to keep the park open.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's always a good thing.
And Julie and I were talking about this the other day because we're so far removed from the mainland that I don't always follow all the politics over there. And but I did pick up. They said this never happened in the history of America before. And her and I were both talking about the park being closed a few years ago because the government shut
down. Yeah.
So I don't know. I know Brad's our go-to man for that.
Yeah,
so
Brad.
he's
How many
gone.
times have they shut down
Brad,
the government in the last 10 years?
And I actually Googled it trying to find the answer. So maybe somebody knows better than me and can because I didn't get a good answer on Google either. So
Yeah.
Speaking of lively, Brad's commenting already on something else, though.
Okay.
He said, yeah, that was the lower east drift zones, not Halimau
Yeah.
is what it was. And then the other one, it was saying, hang on. He says, there were some people that drove to the volcano that night, is what he was talking about.
Eric and myself.
Yeah.
We
I think they're
jumped in
making
there.
fun of you.
Yeah, I know. And if you guys
The
want
kids
to
in the
see,
group here.
yeah, if you want to see a really good video, the one that Eric and I did by going out there at night and then waking up at the crack of dawn and being out there again at 5:15 in the morning, it's on YouTube. You should see it.
365 Hawaii.
That's right.
Okay, so JJ has something to say here. She said there's a new season in Hawaii Life on now. How come they aren't showing the truth about Hawaii real estate prices?
Oh.
And you can very rarely get a property for way under asking, right?
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't think any of these I don't know. When was the show filmed?
Yeah,
was
mine-
it filmed
2 years
pre,
ago,
No,
pre-COVID?
Well, if it's a new season, it couldn't be that old,
No, I
right?
remember they were our buddies on the east side. They
Yeah.
were holding that show for a long time, so it could be pretty old.
Yeah, I'm just are they wearing masks and stuff?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just-
Yeah,
I
you
don't
know
know.
that show is not exactly reality. One of my friends, she got on it after she'd already bought the house. They had her move all of her furniture outside the house, walked in, making it look like she was looking at the house for the first time, moved her furniture back in, and basically said, 3 weeks later, Lisa is a homeowner now.
And that's the way they all are. It's certainly not just Hawaii Life. I've helped with several of those
HGTV and
shows.
stuff,
I
yeah.
did that one too, the one that I did, and I'm sure it's like theirs. They obviously you can't go through a whole shopping and buying a home experience in a half-hour show.
Right.
So
Your cameraman can't hang around that long.
right, so it goes on, but they're very accurate. I know when I did that one, it was very accurate. We looked at homes that they would have looked at when they bought the home that they bought.
Okay.
In fact, one of them was still on the market of one that they had bought, and we looked at that. We looked at others equal to that, and then there was no scripts given to us about anything that we spoke about or said at any of the other homes.
Okay.
So it was as real as could be, but it's Hollywood, and they're, it was non-scripted.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And I love the, here's the 3 homes you have to choose from. Which one will he pick?
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, it depends if there's anything on the market to buy.
Yeah.
Here's your one. You want it?
Yeah.
Or they really went and looked at 40 different houses. But yeah.
The famous one I like on the memes of that is the one where somebody shows them the house, and they really don't like the house. Like,
Yeah.
we need to go up a little bit in budget. I think this just isn't going to do it. And the guy's like, great, let me show you this one tomorrow. So,
Because that's what all there is,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's going to go up in price by tomorrow.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be
just
paying
hang on
50
there for
grand
24
over.
hours.
Yeah.
So Brad says the shutdown is different than the debt limit, is what he said.
Mm.
Just to let you know.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, Brad's still going here.
We got bubbles going,
It
huh?
is the debt limit that has never been broken, and that would crash the markets worldwide.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any other
We got
questions?
the
We
rental car
We
thing.
got the rental car
talked
thing.
about that.
Yep. And
Getting
don't forget too,
updates.
if you're coming into Kona to look at homes, for the people over on the right, Eric and I have cars to rent. People over on the left, we do have some cars that might be available late January to spring. So we're doing that for a lot of the people that are in our group, and we have 2 cars. That push that out there every now and then.
Yeah.
Yep. And there was something
That's
else.
it. I think we're good, right?
Okay.
I talked about my condo deal.
Okay.
We went through
Yep,
all the
yep,
numbers.
Yep.
Home sold, condos.
And it looks like with and then
I'm gonna
Josh,
pass this off
thank
to
you.
you
'Cause I'm going
for
to do a
your
real estate report. Josh Green said a couple days ago that he is hoping that within 2 weeks we're going to lessen our restrictions, and then that dramatically. So that would be awesome, because then people wouldn't decide if they had to make a decision about keeping their reservations for January, February, right? Which could mean that it's stacking up to be another hot home buying market in the normal time when people buy houses in Hawaii in January, February, and March. Am I correct?
Could be, yeah. We could get a flood of people coming in and no inventory still yet, and it could put a pinch on it real quick, and on some of the stuff. Interesting. I think I got sidetracked too. I talked about a couple of houses that came back on the market, that I saw, and we got to talking about other things. But it was so the inventory. So if we do see more in that, right now the inventory is still so low that we're not seeing that happen yet. But again, if we start getting more inventory, the prices will start to adjust to that.
Right. There we go. So there's something to look forward to, you guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys are, write your calendars down. Next month, the first Thursday, I think is around the 4th or something. And Lance will be here to tell you what happened during the fall. But we also are doing the TTT, where Lance will come back and tell you a little bit more about what's happening near the end of the month with some other realtors that we're having on the show. And also, Eric and I did start a Patreon. So if you guys do want to support the show, either that way or that way, you can go to patreon.com/365 Hawaii. And then also we opened up a merchandise store. So if you're looking for some 365 Kona or 365 Hawaii merchandise and pretty pictures that you can put on hats and blankets and portraits and the whole thing, it's all up there. And I'll leave the link in both of the experiences. That way you guys can be part of our 365 Hawaii fun. So
to bounce off of your TTT thing too, coming from my angle, just to talk to you guys about, I think it's great because Julie brings in realtors from the Hilo side of the island and from the Hawaii and Kohala areas and Waikoloa areas and then Captain Cook areas. So
You get a flavor of the whole island.
A flavor of things. So if you get more specific questions, again, if you look back in the things, we've always got links to these reports, the black and white numbers, so you can.
Yeah, so if you are watching and you're looking for what East Hawaii might be doing.
Non-opinionated.
Yeah, there you go,
black and
non-opinionated. And then if you guys go to the top, it gives you the entire scope of what's happening in the island, and it goes down to Puna, South Hilo, North Hilo, Hamakua, North Kahala, South Kahala, North Kona, South Kona, and Ka'u. So the whole island, all the statistics are right there. Good?
That's it.
Okay.
All right.
That,
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lance.
Yeah.
And you guys,
Thank
we'll
you.
see you next month. Aloha.
Aloha.